Okay, I'm going to make a little calculator. I'm going to do this using Python tkinter. So I want you to import the sys module, and then from tkinter, I want you to go in and grab that guy and import everything in there into this program. Go grab everything. Click on File, click on Save. I'm going to run this program. Click on Run and Run Module, and there we go. No errors. Nothing showed up on the screen, but there were no errors. That's what we want to be sure about. So I come back to my program. All right, Mr. tkinter, take a window out of your bag of tricks, capital TK. I want you to take that window and assign it to the variable root. This is going to be my root window. Everything's going in here. So let's save this guy now, and let's run it. Oh, and I get a window. That looks great. And it says TK up here. I don't like that. I want it to say calculator. Let's go back to our program. So now I turn to the root window, and I say to the root window, root? He says, yeah. Could you put a title up in the title bar? He says, sure. What do you want me to put up there? Me calculator. It's my calculator. Me calculator. I want that up in the title bar of this window. He says, sure, I'll do it. No problemo. So let me save this now and run this program. And oh my goodness, there it is, me calculator. This is looking good. Let's go back to our program now. Well, I'm going to need a text box into which I'm going to put my numeric data. So will I call that text box variable? I know, TB. Now I put the pound sign here. This makes this a comment. All right, that's good. Now File, Save. Let's run this program, make sure I don't have any errors sneaking in on me. And I don't. It says me calculator. So far, so goody. Let's go back to our program. So the next thing I do is I go to the text entry function. I say, Mr. Text Entry. And he says to me, don't call me text entry. My friends call me entry. Okay, entry, could you do me a favor? He says, sure. What do you want me to do? I want you to put one of those text entry boxes into the root window. You know, the one that we took a window over here, assigned it to root, Mr. Root. I want you to put it into Mr. Root window. He says, sure, I'll do that. Then he says to me, what kind of font do you want me to turn your text into when you key it into the text entry box? Well, I'd like it to be Arial, 18 point. I'd like it bold so I can see it. He says, sure, I'll do that. Not a problem. And as a required fill out over here, I want you to call Mr. String Variable function and tell him to assign his string variableness quality to this variable called text variable. You say, sure, so you want the variable text variable to be a string variable. I says, yeah, I'd like that. He says, okay, I'll tell Mr. String Variable function to make this guy a string variable. Oh, that's good. I appreciate that. Then I put another comma. Notice all of these parts, these components are delimited with a comma, separated with a comma. And he says to me, what about the border around the text window? What would you like me to do with that? I'd like that to be about 15 units wide, comma. And he says, okay, that's fine. What about that blinking cursor, the insert width on that? What would you like that to be? I said, I'd like that blinking cursor to be 3 units wide. I don't want it to be too wide. 3 is good enough for me. He says, okay, that's fine. Comma. He says, what about the background color? I'd like the background color on that text box to be light blue. I like light blue. It's pretty cool, I think. He says to me, okay, that's not a problem either. Comma. He says, and when you key data into the text box, how do you want me to justify that, on the right or the left? I said, I'd like you to do it on the right, please. Numeric data comes off the right. And then we hit the end of the function, and he jumps up. He said, oh, just a sec. One more thing. Do you want me to put a grid box, tag it onto the bottom of your text box? Yeah. I'd like you to tag a grid box on there. How many columns do you want this to span? I'd like it to be 3 columns wide. You want a column span of 3 columns? Yeah, that'll do it fine for me. Says, okay, that's it. Oh, one more thing. Will you assign this to the variable TB? Oh, you mean tuberculosis? No. Text box. TB for text box. He says, okay, I'll do that. Not a problem. So I'm going to file and save. And now I'm going to run this thing. Cross your fingers. And kabow. There it is. Me calculator. Light blue. Thin band here. That's meant. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. So far, he's a goodie. Oh, one more thing. We got to check to see if this works so far. Let me put in a couple of numbers here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.89. No, that works fine. That looks pretty good. There's that thin 3-unit wide insert width. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Now, the next thing we'll do in the next video, this is getting too long. I'm going to put in these buttons 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and a 0. I got that working. Then I'll put in the rest of these buttons. Add them, divide them, multiply them, subtract them. Oh, there's plus minus. And this is add them. And we'll put in an equal sign down. Okay, we'll do that. We'll start doing that little by little. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.